So, your election command center, where we keep you informed and updated on all that is happening within the electoral politics space of our country. And this morning, we are looking at the Npp Parliamentary Primaries, which is being conducted in 167 constituencies across the country. We are currently in the studio with Mr. Benefson and also Dr. Ali Duseidu, who are helping us with the analysis of the various constituencies, particularly looking at the constituencies we have titled Constituencies to Watch, or the hotspots. We've looked at, some constituencies in the Ashanti region. Also, we are now looking at some constituencies in the Greater Accra region. We are now moving on to look at Adenta. And Adenta is also another interesting constituency where in 2004 was held by the NPP, the late Kwejo Opare Hammond, and then 2008 and 2012 the NDC took over. Then Honorable Boaboyan Samoa took over in 2016. Now he's facing stiff competition from his from his constituency chairman, exactly. And it's quite interesting there. Just yesterday we are told that one other person also joined, and so he is coming up against 4 people who are contesting him. Doc, start us off on this one. Your thoughts?
So we know Adenta is one of the swing constituencies. It can go the way of the NDC or the MPP. So in circumstances like that, you need a very credible, competent candidate from a political party to be able to retain or snatch a seat from the incumbent. If you look at the dynamics now, a lot of people I've spoken to in that constituency. I used to stay in that constituency. Okay. I was in the Senate Flowers. Most people are not happy about the performance of the current MP. They believe he's not in touch with the grassroots. And unlike the national election, this is a kind of specific election where a lot of people are not going to vote, just a few delegates. Mm-hmm. But like Benefson was mentioning, if they are not careful, if you have so many competitors coming on board, it could lead to the splitting of the vote. If you're not careful, they're very popular. And this first past the post, even if you are able to get even 21 votes and the rest have 19, 20, then you are the winner. So in the first past the post system, having so many candidates can actually disenfranchise the right of people who are more qualified to win. So what may happen is that if they are not careful, even though people believe it's not popular among the constituents, the vote can split and then he can emerge winner. And that's going to be a little bit difficult for the MPP moving forward in the major elections in December.
Great. Now, Doc, let me, okay, you're done with the submissions. Very well. Then let's cross over to Domi Kwabenya constituency, where we have the incumbent MP, Adjoa Safo there, going to cast her vote. And there's an interview currently ongoing. So let's take a listen.
In the midst of COVID, we want to ensure that we won't have escalated numbers after. So you can see everybody comes in, votes, and goes away. And it's very good. I just finished voting myself. And I'm very confident that I'll be victorious.
But how was the process for you?
It's very expeditious. It's very simple. So I'm sure people will just come in, vote, and then go home. And that's what we want. Everybody should stay safe. And so, yeah.
You say you are very confident, but some other people think otherwise. You think that this time around the Michael Kwe will give you a run of your money?
That's their opinion. I think that my good people remember me for the long time that I've been with them. So, in opposition, I was with them. We are in power, I'm with them. And so for me, 4 more for Nana will mean justifiably 4 more for myself as well, to complete the good work that my government in 4 years is doing. And Nana will continue 8 years. And so I'll continue with him.
If you're projecting this and also comparing it to what happened in the previous election, do you think that you're going to have an overwhelming even vote more than what you did in the past?
I believe so. I believe that this will be unprecedented.
You think you wouldn't be surprised when that doesn't happen?
I know what I'm talking about, and I believe my people, and I believe in God. It is God that is the kingmaker, and I know that I'm declaring victory for myself in the name of Jesus, and I'm declaring glory unto myself in the name of Jesus.
But before the election started and of COVID-19 issue came in, there was some information circulating that people were saying that Michael Kwe has, come out of the contest, and they suspected that was coming for your camp. And what do you have to say about that?
I would say that what we were told at the time probably is not what it is. And so as you can see, there's a contest, and I was ready for that contest. I've always gone for a contest, so this is no surprise to me.
So, Madam, should you come up top today? What should a good
I will come up top.
But what should the good people of your constituency expect from you for the next 4 years?
What my slogan is for this election, which is that we get our victory in these primaries, we get development massively, a continuation of what I've started, which is the continuity and development and victory that I have as my slogan for this election.
Just briefly back to COVID-19, do you think we should expect this form of voting come the general election?
I strongly believe that this is the way to go, so that we won't have escalated numbers in the recorded cases of COVID-19. So
we know that times like this, there's always division, one party belonging to the other and all those sort of. After the election, what would be your strategy in making sure that unity prevails within the Dome-Kwabenya constituency?
It's bringing everybody on board, and I've done it before. I've had a first contest, I've had a second contest, and this is my third. And after I'm able, as a mother, as a woman, bring everybody on deck, on board, and we'll forge forward, because the elephant is bigger than all of us.
You'll be able to do that, including your contender?
We've done it before, so we can do it. This is not the first time he's contesting, yeah.
Thank you. All the best.
Thank you so much, sir. So that was the incumbent member of parliament for Dome-Kwabenya, who just came to the Taifa South to inspect whatever is going on. He has already cast her vote, and then she's here. We just have interaction with her, and she told us that she's very confident that she's going to win the elections. From Dome-Kwabenya, Godfrey Tanam for TV3 News.
Great. So that was Godfrey Tanam there bringing us that interview with incumbent MP for Dome-Kwabenya, Madam Sarah Adjoa Safo there. She's quite confident, and she's saying, well, 4 more for Nana and 4 more for her as well. We will just look out for how that, plays out ultimately. My panelists in the studio here have actually, stuck their necks out for her. So we will see if indeed they get that correct. But back to Adenta, what we're looking at now, Mr. Benefson, what do you see happening here? And I find intriguing what happened yesterday. That at the very last hour, if you like, the 11th hour, we have another person coming in to, as it were, set the record straight that what we heard before wasn't the case, but he's actually, going along with the contest. Your thoughts?
I think that Babi Asama will win, but I'm sure he will get a very low percentage because the other 4 are likely to split the higher percentage of delegates who don't like him. But unfortunately for the MPP, if Babi Asama wins the primaries and he doesn't up his game, he will lose the general election to the NDC. Because the NDC candidate was the same person, that's Ahmed Ramadan. He lost by about 3,000. But within the swing voters in Adenta, Babi Asamoah has lost it with them. And if he doesn't up his game after winning this, MPP will lose Adenta seat.
Right.
In December.
Right. And obviously Adenta is one of the swing constituencies. I mean, you can't be sure what is going to happen. And so, given what you're saying, the NPP would have to put in a lot of efforts in that particular constituency. But what does the fact that he's up against, the constituency chairperson, what does that say?
So maybe in other permutations, you see that the constituency chairman is very close to the people on the ground. And in most cases, he helped the MP to run businesses around the constituency, help support the MP, and help do a lot of things on behalf of the MP. So he may be privy to the game plan of the MP, the people to touch base with, the people to liaise with, and all those things. So if that is actually right, then it means he may be closer to the people and to the delegates that will vote compared to the MP in terms of relations. But that may not also be an advantage for him, because we've known in Ghana it's not just about relations and networks and how competent you are. Other factors may also influence the way delegates may vote. But on that particular level, I would say maybe he is more closer to the party hierarchy at the constituency level compared to the MP, who often doesn't even get time to go there regularly. He's so much engrossed with parliamentary business and other things. So that could give him a little bit of advantage to touch base with the electors as compared to the MP himself.
So the moral of the story is that incumbent MPs, watch out,
those that you work with and the secrets you share with them.
Exactly. Watch out for that. But let's turn our attention to this other constituency in the central region, Ewutu Senya West. I find that very interesting. I think behind the scenes we're looking at this, where incumbent George Anda, who is a deputy minister for communications, is coming up against Joseph Adu. Now, the incumbent is a first-term MP. He won the seat for the NPP, I believe, for the first time in 2016. And now he is in this position. Now, some have wondered why he was made to go or to contest with somebody and not go unopposed, given the feat he achieved in the 2016 elections. You would have thought that, well, perhaps he has a certain gravitas. You would want him to be there unopposed so that, the party could have an easy ride, if you like, in the ultimate elections. Mr. Benefson, your thoughts?
I think that Anda did very well in defeating Hanatete, and maybe he's not one of the favorite to have been protected, but I think he'll win his primary because he had done a lot of. One of my colleagues lives there. He doesn't vote MPP, but he's been very impressed by the work Anda has done, and some of the goodies that he shares, like trying to he gets sewing machines for the underprivileged. He gives some to known NDC supporters, so that has kind of warmed.
Okay.
So there's a possibility that people will vote. NDC people will vote for him because of his benevolence to them, and maybe vote for the NDC presidential. Yes. So. But delegate this time, this is the cocoa season.
And as we've been told by, as I said, John, delegates,
don't fear them.
Fear delegates. You never know. You never know. We are picking some, if you like, intelligence that the Bantama is going through is experiencing some issues there. Would be bringing you up to speed regarding that as and when we are able to establish contact with our correspondent there, Evans Inkum. But before then, we are still continuing with our analysis with the experts in studio regarding the constituencies to watch or the hotspots. But I think for Greater Accra, another one that we need to look at would be Tema West, where we have Mr. Carlos Ahinkra carrying on there. He is the Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry, and he is coming up against quite a number of people. I believe, let me just find that here, where we're told that he's coming up against someone who is known as the Darling Boy. Let's see. He's seeking re-election, obviously, but he must be really, he's coming up against the constituency's Darling Boy. We'll be looking at the Tema West issue in a bit, but before then, let's cross over to Bantama, where we have our correspondent, Evans Inkum, there to bring us up to speed. Evans, yes.
Yeah, Abna.
Right, what's happening?
Well, Abna, so as you can see, there's so much tension as far as Bantama constituency, and for that matter, the Center for National Culture, which is the polling center for the executives of the party. Majority of the delegates who are voting executive for the party. There's so much tension. Not too long ago, there was a free-for-all fight when one delegate was prevented by the polling agents from the camp of the incumbent member of parliament, Daniel Ochema Boaji, from voting. We are told that this particular delegate is the treasurer for the constituency, and he also works at the foreign ministry, and he's a BNI. So that was the basis for their contention as far as the current happenings here are concerned. Because according to the Ochema Boaji team, he didn't qualify, or his name wasn't captured in the album, something that they also vehemently opposed to. So in the course of exchange of words, it ended up in a free-for-all fight. And at the point in time, Dana Ochemabuaje and then the former member of parliament for the Bantama constituency were drawn into the scaffold. You could hear the exchange of salvos, insulting, and all of that. It nearly got to a fisticuff, but the intervention of the police prevented such a thing from happening. I can tell you that now calm has restored. Asanso Boache not too long ago arrived here to vote, but let me just get closer to him and see if he will grant us any interview as far as this particular place is concerned. But I can tell you that calm is restored now. The voting is happening. Also,
let's see. Yeah.
So let's get closer to.
Sure. Let's see if you can get to him. Right.
To know his chances and whether he's satisfied with what is going on right now at this particular polling center. Honorable, welcome to GH1.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I mean, I met you at the Bantama Methodist Church. You were observing the situation there. Now you are the Community Center for National Culture. Based on the few rounds you've done this morning, are you satisfied with what is going on as we speak?
Yeah, so you are right. This is the third polling center that I've had the opportunity to visit. And I can testify without doubt that the process has been calm, has been peaceful and orderly. And I'm very hopeful that if the process continues the same manner, we're going to have a very calm, peaceful and orderly election.
Yesterday, there were a lot of issues in town. Based on those things, moving out from radio station to radio station, campaigning, meeting delegates, does that give you hope that you are winning this election?
Oh yeah, I'm confident. I'm expecting a landslide. I believe that the overwhelming majority of the delegates have confidence in me, and I have no doubt that they are going to vote for me.
People are saying that you are using your power to intimidate Ochemabuaje. Is that really the situation?
What do you have any evidence to suggest that I'm using my power?
I'm saying that is what.
But you have to verify before you ask that question. I don't think my opponent has said anything like that. Okay. Nobody has said anything like that. I'm using my power to intimidate anybody. Yeah. Who has said that?
And that's all the things that you have done in the constituencies because of the position that you occupy, and for that matter,
Honorable, you're live on TV3. Not too long ago, there was a situation here. I know you've been briefed. What do you know so far?
About what?
About the scaffold that's occurred here.
I wasn't here. I'm unable to comment on that. I'm telling you what I've seen, and I'm saying that all the police centers that I've had opportunity to visit, the process has been calm, orderly, and peaceful. And I'm hopeful that at the end of the day, if the same process is ensured, we are going to have a peaceful, orderly, and calm process, and we are going to have our elected parliamentary candidate.
Now, not too long ago, we engaged your main opponent, the incumbent member of parliament for this particular area, and he said, whatever happens, even if you win, he was going to support you. Will you support him if he also wins?
Oh, why not? Why not? This is an internal process. The objective is to select the best candidate for the big journey, which is 2020 elections. So whoever wins will have to support, whoever loses will have to support the winner. I've had the opportunity to contest before. In 2011, I was an aspirant. I lost, and everybody can attest to the fact that right after that, I declared my support for the winner, and everything that I had to do to support the candidate elect, I did. Yeah.
The scaffold that happened here had to do with somebody apparently.
I wasn't here. I'm unable to comment on that.
Respect that. Exactly. So, honorable, we are looking at commitment to ensuring that there's absolute sanity as far as this particular primaries is concerned. What have you been telling your supporters?
That they should be peaceful. They should help maintain law and order. And as you can see, you can verify. All my supporters are listening to me. They are making sure that first of all, the social distancing and hygiene protocols, everybody's following it, and all the security protocols, everybody's following it. So I'm glad that they've listened to me and everything is smooth and orderly.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. So that's Asenso Gwache, the Deputy Chief of Staff, and just reading the polling. But I can tell you that or normalcy is restored as far as this particular is concerned. Not too long ago, police law enforcement team there is absolute sanity and also normalcy, like I said earlier, restored. So I can tell you that now voting has commenced. It halted for some time, but it has commenced. Only that the delegates are not coming as frequent as what we would like to see. We are told that people are frightened also because of what happened not too long ago. But I can tell you that there's total peace for now as far as the cultural center, polling center in the Bantama constituency is concerned. Abna.
Very well. Thank you so much, Evans. And that's Evans Inkum, our man on the ground in the Ashanti region. And he gave us an update regarding matters prevailing currently at the Bantama constituency. He indicated that there was a free-for-all fight which came about as a result of some person coming in there to vote but was denied that opportunity and all other matters that arose from that. We will be taking a quick break, but before that, I believe Alfred has some statistics and figures to share with us as well. Over to you.
Well, yeah, but you're right on that. And there's been conversation about the risk of incumbent members of parliament losing their seats in this particular primary. And prior to today, Oseche Mensah Bonsu, Majority Leader, Minister in charge of Parliamentary Affairs, was very, very concerned about that because of the experience and what he terms the institutional knowledge that these MPs who have been in Parliament for quite a while, 4 or 5 terms, will be going away with if they lose. And that's why you saw, for instance, in the Bantama constituency, what's happening, and then also Katie Hamon's constituency, and you have Kennedy Japan going there to go and help him campaign, and then also allegations that Kennedy Japan made about Chema Wontumi, allegedly supporting this young Nooks person who is contesting Katie Hammond there. So it's a really tricky situation if you look at it, and how this is going to play out afterwards, and how they balance all of those concerns going in there, and as to how, if incumbent MPs who have been in Parliament for so long do indeed lose their seats, what's going to happen, the impact that it will have on Parliament. We're going to get into the other areas of those people. We have 65 who are going unopposed. But we'll look at those out of the 65, some key figures in there, and then also go to the Eastern region and the Bono region as well. There's a place to look out for there as well. So that's what we'll be getting into right after this.
Very well. Thank you for that, Alfred. And indeed, let me come back to my panelists here quickly to wrap up. What Alfred just raised is a very key issue we need to look at. Trying to, balance the need for continuity as against ensuring competition, at the various levels, to ensure that people, the people at the local level actually have a decision or a choice to make regarding who represents them. That obviously is a balance that needs to be worked out. Your thoughts quickly. And as indicated, the Majority Leader in Parliament has touched on that. He finds that very concerned because he himself is a long-term MP, and we can see the benefits of his, stability in Parliament. Your thoughts quickly.
So if I'm to choose between having more experienced people.
Doc, if you pardon me, please, for perspective, let's take a listen to the Majority Leader so that we can, actually come back to you for that, for your perspectives as well. Please, let's take a listen to Honorable Oseche Mensah Bonsu as he made those comments or submissions.
Democracy everywhere is guided. And in the US, in Britain, in all these established democracies, there's nowhere that at the end of maybe the term of office of Parliament, the sluice gates are opened to all comers to contest. As simple as that. We don't grow Parliament as an institution if we allow for this frequent peeling off. Yes, the system should have a built-in renewal system, right? So we should have a situation where there should be built-in institutional mechanisms to renew the system. It shouldn't be that, okay, the institution should also be stuck with the old phases eternally. Because there are certain people who come, they stay for long times, long periods, and as I keep saying, Parliament doesn't pass through them. They pass through Parliament, Parliament doesn't pass through them. In other words, they don't learn much. Okay. Those ones, if there is a proper assessment, the parliamentary group should be able to get those people out there to let people know that, to let them themselves know that they are not performing.
Is that why some sitting MPs are being contested?
Well, for now, the indices, the issues that people are raising are different. People are saying that, oh, this person is here as a member of parliament, he's not been to the constituency ever since he came to parliament. For all you know, that is not true. When some people say that they are not seeing some people, for all you know, something is not changing hands.
Something like what?
Something like money. Something like envelope. It's not changing hands. Right? So let's face it. Let's be realistic.
But there have been concerns about acrimonies and persons who have been disqualified wrongfully, dreams that have been quashed, and those who believe that they have been unfairly treated. What do you say to that?
Well, our party has rules, and we have grievance resolution procedure set out in the Constitution. Oftentimes, the party has not been rigid in the application of our own rules. The rules provide that if you don't exhaust the grievance procedure and opt to go to court immediately and automatically, you exit from the party. If you go independent, automatically you exit from the party. And if the rules are stringently applied, then you realize that people will not be flouting the rules with impunity. But on occasions, we have allowed these things to go on, and then within 1 year, we tend to forgive and forget. Because people suggest that, oh, but elections are about numbers. So even if he has committed these offenses, let's admit the person. And then these things go on with impunity. If we follow our own rules, these issues will be things of the past.
Yes, so Doc, there, I mean, trying to protect, certain categories just so they can continue. And then you also have, as a result of that, people who are aggrieved, which leads to factions, divisions in the party, obviously affecting their fortunes at the elections. Your thoughts?
So I'll always be for the people having a say in every democratic dispensation. Democracy is for the people. It's about the people and the welfare of the people. So any other thing that would take the power away from the people, I wouldn't support it. So I think the people should have the ultimate say in determining who should represent them. I know institutional memory is important, but every experienced MP was once a first-timer. So once we begin to protect people, we are doing away with talent. We are undermining talent that could also do very well in parliamentary business. We have seen some first-timer MPs doing so well, even more than people who have stayed there for 2, 4, 5 years. So what we should do moving forward is to open up the process. Because once we begin to close the process and people know that, oh, once I become 4-time, 5-time MP, I'll be protected, they become complacent, they are no longer answerable to the people, and they please the people who protect them, rather than the people who vote for them and for whose interest they serve. So under any circumstance, I always go for empowering the people than protecting. These people who have so experienced and they've exited parliament, they can come back and help parliament. You can still provide the institutional memoir. They can write memoirs, they can write books, they can train MPs, and then transfer those kind of skills to them. It doesn't mean that once you're out of parliament, then you can no longer serve the interests of parliament. I think we should allow the people to determine.
Right. Now, still a follow-up on that, and then I go to Mr. Benepson. So you don't even agree or subscribe to the school of thought that, well, you could explore the possibility of negotiated outcomes. So yes, we respect that you have the right to make a decision, but in view of certain factors, certain prevailing circumstances which would inure to the benefit of the party ultimately, let's have this person go. Let's seek your inputs. And then if that fails, then we go to the competition. You don't even buy into that whole negotiated outcomes thing.
It's the lesser of the devils.
Okay.
But I still think, in that sense, we are promoting elite consensus in our democracy. And that still takes away the border masses deciding who should lead them. Right. Once we leave the elites to gang up against the people, then it becomes very difficult for the people to
defeating practice. The whole concept of democracy. Then very well. Mr. Benefson, your thoughts on this?
I'm not. Anyway, I hope I'm not just a diplomat. So I hope
you can speak freely.
Yes, my viewers should understand. I think that with due respect, what the majority does put is full of hypocrisy. I have seen analysis by GhanaReport.com, which my paper published. The top 20 of those who were active up to 1999, 60% were first-timers. So that defeats his argument. He's just to justify him being there for the 6th time. That defeats his argument. The top performers in terms of contribution and so on, 60% were first-timers. The majority leader, has had occasion to complain that out of the 275, active ones are about 50. So the 225, what are they doing? And with due respect, touch wood, Manchester United, when the whole team went down, the team is still there. I think that it is wrong for the majority leader to create the impression that old-timers would necessarily mean efficiency. I don't think so.
Very well. I think on that note, we can take a break here. And doing that, we'll say thank you to Mr. Benefson, pollster and the managing editor of the Daily Dispatch. Also, Dr. Ali Duseidu, Senior Lecturer, Department of Political Science, UG. We'll be back with another set of panelists to continue with our coverage of the Npp Parliamentary Primaries currently going on in 167 constituencies. This is your Election Command Center. We will be right back.
Extra data, extra minutes, and extra unlimited calls. Not just that, even our extra data doesn't expire. Simply dial *111# to bundle now.
Airtel Tigo. Life is simple.
Hello, Accra. Need to get somewhere, or perhaps you need to make some moves? Then let me introduce you to the Phoenix Way of Life, a smart new way to get around town. Book your ride with Phoenix, the first and only ride-hailing service that supports charity with every trip you book. You get comfortable cars, affordable fares, and of course, the satisfaction that you have also helped support the needy and vulnerable in society. Make a move and join the Phoenix family. Use Phoenix Hero as a referral code to enjoy great rates. Heroes book Phoenix.
Ghana for yet damwase corona yare ibaye abaya yeshe bebre nemom sa wo so wa anye wa famu dia anka ya medru say de abrewa yipoma kwam enti high sense showrooms na Ghana for nyina ye pie ye adwuma ensi oto enso for more day high sense dwune mo honti ye nyama ne bo no ya ye hihye esuru kukwa wa ho dia mam nemom mesrew corona yare nti ye de bible hihye bebre agu akwam esame ne omu ye dienti enti sa wo beto ade a wadaroma ye nyabote ye nkoso a na ye ndi an bible hihye ya aban de agu akwam ama ye nyina na so na ba bua ye nyina madam high sense ni unim dada say high sense there everyday prices for everyday people.
Saturday, 20th June 2020, the ruling New Patriotic Party embarks on its parliamentary primaries with 65 aspirants going unopposed and 13 regions to be covered. Who makes it into the full list of MPP parliamentary candidates for the December general elections? Your Election Command Center is already on the ground to bring you every detail on the MPP primaries Saturday, 20th June 2020, live on all media general platforms: TV3, Onia TV, 3FM 92.7, Onia 95.1 FM, Connect FM 97.1 in Takrady, Akuma FM 87.9 in Kumasi, and 3news.com. Don't miss the coverage. Powered by your Election Command Center.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ted Spear, pastor of the Fundamental Baptist Church International in Kumasi, and I would like to welcome you to join me for the Fundamental Hour.
As we think our good works will save
Please
us.
join me as we teach the Scriptures each and every Sunday morning right here on TV3. God bless you.
Fundamental Hour shows on Sundays at 6 a.m. on TV3.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Today's Woman.
The internet spoiled us a bit.
Technology has taken
You
over.
know, for my parents' generation, there was a time where musicians and artists were seen as people who didn't have focus.
So wait, when she puts up the placard, out enough,
like,
time out, leave me
I'm
alone,
out.
go away.
Yeah, it's named after an order of monks called the Capuchin monks.
Okay.
They had this hood that had the same creamy color that you'd find on the top of the cappuccino.
This is delicious as it looks.
Today's Woman shows Sundays at 3 p.m. and repeats on Fridays at 3 p.m. on TV3.
Brought to you by GTP, Still Timeless.
First National Bank, Fit Trip.
God bless you. I greet you in the name of He who died and arose on the third day, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, to pull you out of darkness into His marvelous light. Join me on this station, a word that will move you to your next dimension, a word that will break every chain. And I promise you, you will encounter power, you will encounter fire, you will encounter light.
Voice of the Eagle shows every Sunday at 7 a.m. on TV3.
This week on Music.
Hey, Dana Samwai, my body, my friend, oh, hello people, it's your boy Mr. Drew here, and I want to tell you that this Saturday, 8 p.m. live, I'm gonna be inside TV3 studios. Music, it's gonna be crazy, it's gonna be mad. I'm bringing all the vibes and energy. I mean, how they do, I'm sheesh, but you love me, in love me, don't call me later. Hey, mommy, did it say no?
Remember, it's this Saturday live on TV3. Music, it's big. Brought to you by Adonko.
Another thrilling season to crown the best business school in Ghana. The Tertiary Business Sense Challenge version 2.0 by Graphic Business in partnership with the Ministry of Business Development and the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana. 19 prestigious business schools from all across the country. One ultimate winner for the coveted title of Ghana's #1 business school. The Tertiary Business Sense Challenge version 2.0. The hot seat. Ready?
Watch Tertiary Business Sense Challenge Mondays 5 p.m. on TV3. Sponsors: PricewaterhouseCoopers, Glycolife, ABL, ICAG, Sima, Trillium Industries, CompuGhana. Subscribe to Graphic Business. Download Graphic News Plus from the Google Play Store or the App Store.
Over the years, TV3 Mission has helped push the nation's development agenda through the power of effective reportage. As another major elections beckons, TV3 will create the platform for you to critically assess all political manifestos, with education and health being critical development indicators. What strategic plans do our political parties have for Ghanaians? This is TV3 Mission, live on News 360, Saturdays and Sundays, also live on other media general platforms. Let's take you on a journey to further consolidate Ghana's experiment with democracy. Mission is supported by Star Ghana Foundation with thanks to Danida, UK Aid and the European Union, powered by Media General's Election Command Center.
Can your friend date your ex?
I wouldn't date my friend's ex. The way I would treat her, it will even increase the pain you have in your heart.
Should a lady be given a deadline to accept a love proposal?
Definitely no. Like, if he can't wait for her to accept, then he can just move on.
Can you be in a relationship and still have a crush on someone else?
Yes, you can. We're human and we're prone to be attracted to certain qualities in some other people.
All the hula baloo on who's right or who's wrong starts here. Welcome to Battle of the Sexes. 1 week, one topic, man against woman, pound for pound. Aha! Winner stays, loser replaced. How long can you last in the hot seat? Battle of the Sexes. Come argue or watch us do battle week in, week out.
Battle of the Sexes shows Saturdays at 4:30 p.m. on TV3.
That is 2.4. I will give it to all my contestants. Congratulations. Let's give it up for her. Brought to you by Royal Milky Magic Biscuits. Yummy nutrition for everyone.
Indomie instant noodles tastes great.
UCMAS Ghana Limited, education with a difference.
UCMAS Mental Quiz Show every Sunday 1 p.m. on TV3.
Welcome back. So this is still our coverage of the NPP parliamentary primaries currently underway in 167 constituencies. And this is your Election Command Center. We bring you up to speed with all that is happening within our political or electoral politics space. And this morning we are focusing on the NPP parliamentary primaries. This obviously is brought to us by the kind courtesy of Airtel Tigo Extra. And Airtel Tigo Extra says that it's the season for extra, and social distancing doesn't mean you can't stay close to your family, friends, and work. That's why Airtel Tigo says it's time, and it's time for extra by giving you more of your call and data bundles. Choose from Airtel Tigo's Big Time Data Extra, Fuse Extra, or Extra Unlimited, and get extra. It's time for extra. You feel 'em? Just dial *111# to choose a plan today. Airtel Tigo, life is simple. So on standby now we have Alfred Okansi. He's ready to take us through another round of
some
right?
graphics, absolutely.
Exactly, and what's happening?
Because we have focused, some hotspots that we identified ahead of today, and we give you just the first batch of it. But we have some of you sending some live videos, what's happening, but you can go on to Akoma 87.9. That's one of our radio stations in the Ashanti region here on your election command center. Remember, we're live all across the country with this NPP parliamentary primary. This is your election command center here on TV3. We're also having coverage on 3FM 92.7, Onua 95.1. There's Onua TV as well. There's Connect FM, also in Takrady, and as well as Akuma FM. Now, let me take you on to the Facebook page of Akuma FM, because it's reporting that there's some skirmishes there in the Ifidiase Asokore constituency. What you see right there is lawyer Kwame Adom Apia, who's an aspirant who, according to Akuma 87.9, a sister station in the Ashanti region, there's been some skirmishes there in the Ifidiase Asokore constituency. And this is the picture of the aspirant who has been allegedly battered by soldiers in the area, or some persons who were dressed in military attire. This is what we're getting now, and you see blood on his mouth as a result of that incident. And it's really, really worrying. We have eyes there. We'll be updating you on what's going on, but that's what's happening in specifically Ifidiase Asokore constituency in the Ashanti region. That's what we have eyes over there. We're going to be updating you. This is on the Akuma FM 87.9 Facebook page. That's our sister station here on your election command center in the Ashanti region. It's not looking good there, and we did see also a few skirmishes that happened in the Bantama constituency earlier. So there's a lot of activity in the Ashanti region, rightly so. Prior to today, there's a lot of anticipation. The competition was high. Right. Clearly the heat was high there in the Ashanti region. It's no surprise that we're seeing that, but this certainly is unacceptable with what's happening right there. Our correspondent on the ground will be getting into exactly what happened right there, and that led to lawyer Kwame Adom Apia, who's an aspirant in that constituency. I'm talking about the Ifidiase Asokore constituency being battered this way. But you look at the 66 persons who are going unopposed. I'm just going to take a few of them. There's some key persons: Matthew Opoko Prempe, Osechejin, Mensha South Siame, Jose Osu Bekwai, also, had some issues in there. There's one other person who is threatening to go independent because of this particular decision. Kojo Ponkroma, Ofwasha Yerebi, Minister of Information, Atacha, Waka South, Eslousu, Ablekuma West. You have Damboche Okre, Boniface Abubakar, Sadiq Madina, and that's a place to watch as well, going into the December polls. Dominic Nito, the Bimbela constituency as well, is going unopposed. Ambrose Derry, Nandom going unopposed. Jogate, Esikado, Ketan constituency going unopposed. Barbara Tinjesi, Prestia, Huni Valley going unopposed. Catherine Afeko, Evaluate, Jomro, Jurat constituency as well going unopposed. These are just a few key persons or key figures within the 66 persons who are going unopposed in the NPP. But let's go to the Eastern region. There's a place to look at there is the Eastern. I'm going to show you right now on your screens, just so you understand why we have focused on the Eastern region. Some 3 or 4 constituencies in the Eastern region we have identified as hotspots or place to watch. Hotspot meaning that there's a lot of activity. The competitiveness is very high there. That's why we describe it as hotspot. The new job in South constituency, where Makasibi Aboa, incumbent member of parliament and chair of the Finance Committee of Parliament, is there together with Michael Ochribefi, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Free Zones Authority. They've been described as two very interesting friends who have been at each other for quite a while now. Now, you look at the historical analysis to this. They have gone against each other twice after Dr. Sibe Yeboah defeated Mr. Befi in 2015. So that's what's happening there in the new job in South constituency. But I'm going to hold on to this because we're going to Fantiako as well. I'm going to show you Fantiako in a bit. But let's go to the Dom Kwabinya constituency. Now, you spoke to Sarah Jossafo earlier. We understand that Michael Koy Jr. has also just cast his vote. So I'm going to have you connect with them right now because there's something happening in Dom Kwabinya constituency.
Yes, right. So let's go over to the Dome Kwabinya constituency, where I believe our correspondent Godfred is, to bring us up to speed with what's happening. We're told that Michael Okwe, who is coming up against the incumbent, Sarah Adjasafo, has just cast his vote. So we have the live pictures showing now.
Your Excellency, this is TV3. We want to find out, so far you've gone around, what can you tell us about what you've seen?
Thank you very much, and a very good day to your viewers. So far, so good. Everything is going on in true MPP fashion. I've always said that, to be honest, this is just a simple contest of minds. You just show that I want to vote for this person, either to retain the MP or to change the MP. And the delegates are the ones who will decide based on what they know about both candidates. It's a very simple exercise. And that's why for me, I was not too enthused about all the drama in the media, about all the accusations and all the rest of it. It doesn't help the party. However, we're very glad that today we are at this juncture where we are allowing the delegates to vote. It is counted, it is tallied, and the elephant is a winning symbol. If I win, glory to God. If my sister wins, glory to God. What's most important is the MPP would forge forward, get ready, lace his boots for the general election. And so we'll wait and see what the outcome will be. May we wish each other luck, but I hope that I will come victorious in this election.
In preparing for the election, we heard that you were out of the contest, and your camp said that it was coming from your opponent's camp, trying to discredit you. And was it really from your camp that accusing Joseph's camp that you were being, you were out of the contest?
Well, I know that today the media will be seeking some sort of either controversial happening or controversial statement, but I can assure
We appear to have some technical hitches there with that interview, but we'll definitely go back there to reestablish contacts when that happens. But I go over to Alfred to continue with those.
It's interesting what Michael Okwe Jr. was responding to, because this was one of the topical issues going into today, but certainly we'll get to hear his response. But I was in the eastern region. The picture you see behind me, we're still getting into that as we go on. I'm sure Abena will connect with our colleagues in the Ashanti region, Akoma FM 7.9, to give us more details about this unfortunate incident we're hearing from, specifically the Fidiasia Sokori constituency. The man you see behind me who clearly has blood on his mouth after that incident. That's lawyer Kwame Adomapia, an aspirant in that constituency. But in the New Jabin South constituency, I was there with Makasibi Aboa and Michael Ochri Befi, who is the CEO of the Free Zones Authority in there. They are having some 826 delegates decide their fate in 34 electoral areas in the New Jabin South constituency. When you go to the Fontiakwa South constituency, that's another place we've identified in the eastern region to look at. But let's connect back to Michael Okwe Jr., what he was talking about earlier in the Donkwa.
To be stating those in public, because then I'll be campaigning and I don't want to get disqualified. So maybe we're allowing the delegates to vote. It is counted, it is tallied, and the elephant is a winning symbol. If I win, glory to God. If my sister wins, glory to God. What's most important is the MPP would forge forward, get ready, lace his boots for the general election. And so we'll wait and see what the outcome will be. May we wish each other luck, but I hope that I will come victorious in this election.
In preparing for the election, we heard that you were out of the contest, and your camp said that it was coming from your opponent's camp, trying to discredit you. And was it really from your camp that accusing Joseph's camp that you were being, you were out of the contest?
Well, I know that today the media will be seeking some sort of either controversial happening or controversial statement, but I can assure you that you will get neither. Thank you very much.
Right, but you believe that this is going to be for you, and your opponent also believes that he's even going to get more than the vote she had in the previous elections. What can you say is your strategy, or maybe expectation or something that you think you are basing on to have that big expectation?
Oh, we know campaigning is over. Today is voting. We are not allowed to give any pros and cons of any candidate. But what I can assure you is that, remember, I've been away for 3 years, serving in my capacity as High Commissioner away from the country. So I haven't been in Ghana for a while. So I've had to.
Well, we need to apologize for that very hazy looking graphics in there. But that's a live that's event happening right now in the Dom Kwabena constituency. We're going to be updating you a lot more on this. But you see right there in the left-right corner of the screen, Ibrahim Abubakar is our Ashanti regional correspondent, one of our correspondents on the ground there. Abra is going to connect with him shortly to get some details of what's happening in there. But let me finish up with the Fantiakwa constituency because Kofi Ochre Ejekum, I'm going to have you on the screens right now. Kofi Ochre Ejekum, Daniel Amening Dakwa, and then also Eric Amwakuchum, who is the Npp Communications Officer and former Deputy Executive Secretary of the Ghana Export Promotion Authority. You remember all of the back and forth that surrounded him being relieved of his position. Well, the incumbent Member of Parliament is Kofi Ochre Ejekum, who faces stiff competition from the former Deputy Executive Secretary of the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, Eric Amwakuchum, and one Daniel Amening Dankwa. Also in the Nkoko constituency, Eric Kwachi Dafo, who is the incumbent Member of Parliament, is now facing stiff competition from two former MPs. And that's another interesting place to watch in the Nkoko constituency. Two former MPs are now back in the race, seeking to get back as the candidates of the MPP in that seat. We're talking about Sete Jeba and Kwabena Edusa. So these are the two former MPs contesting the incumbent MP today in the Npp Primaries. We have eyes on that. We'll be getting into it and be updating you as well. Before we go into the Bono region, there's an injunction that Abna, you're getting information in the
That's what we're getting information about that. Yeah, so let's connect in respect of the Asante Akim North matter. Let's connect with Ibrahim to give us an update on that, because we understand that there's an injunction regarding the elections there, but we are told that elections are ongoing there. So Ibrahim, if you can hear me, hello? Again, we have a technical hit. Yes. Great, Ibrahim, good morning. Hello.
Good morning, Abena.
Great. How are you doing? And let's hear from you regarding this election that's ongoing there, regardless of an injunction that's on the. First of all, confirm if that's the case.
Yes, Abena, this is Asante Akim North.
Right.
Agogo. Yesterday, we received some information that there has been an injunction here. Some of the delegates had issues with regards to the album here. So they went to court, they sought for an injunction, and then they were given. In fact, we even spoke to the director of elections, and he confirmed that the injunction has been served and there wouldn't be election here today. But we are here this morning, and all the 22 polling or electoral areas are election has started here. Everything is on course here. So let's briefly engage with the secretary and find out what is happening, because we knew very well that there wouldn't be any voting here this morning.
Sure.
Good morning. You are live.
Good morning, my brother.
So what is happening here this morning? We know you are not supposed to vote today.
Good morning to your cherished listeners. There's elections in Asante Akim North. So far as we are concerned, nobody has received anything from anywhere. So we know that today we are going to have the election, and we are having it. As you can see, we have it in a very peaceful atmosphere. So the delegates are ready, the constituency executives are ready, and then the elections are ongoing, as you can see.
But yesterday we spoke to Gary Nimako, and he indeed confirmed that the party has received that injunction, and for that matter, the elections at Asante Akim North will be on hold.
I bet you differ. I haven't heard anything from them. Just imagine we take everything from the region. The region is aware that today Asante Achim North is going to conduct the votes. And we are doing it. If there should be any injunction whatsoever, I think we should have been served a letter or call from the National Executive Committee or from the region to indicate that, yes, indeed, there are some injunctions on Asante Achim North elections. But so far as we are concerned, nobody has spoken to us. We haven't received anything from anybody. And what we know is that today we are having our elections, and it is going on peacefully.
And how many people or delegates are we expecting to cast their ballot today?
We have 94 polling stations, 22 electoral areas. So in naturally, we have 22 electoral areas, and we have the collation center, making it 23. And as you can see, everywhere, everybody is busy casting their votes. So we are expecting 520 delegates to cast their vote this morning.
So Abina, that is the situation here. It's very interesting. You know, this is a place where the member of parliament is being contested by a former member of parliament, Kojo Banwiredu. So you can
Kojo Banjaman.
So you can imagine it, and it's interesting. Yes, we are waiting for what to happen because well, we don't know. The injunction has been served to headquarters, but those in the constituency are claiming that they've not received any injunction notice. So therefore, they are conducting the election.
Right. Thank you so much, Ibrahim, for bringing us up to speed with that. So that was Ibrahim there in the Asante Achim North and telling us exactly what is happening there. So speaking to the secretary there, who is saying that, well, they have no notice of the injunction application, and so they're going ahead with their scheduled elections. That's quite an interesting one there. We would need to speak to Evans Nimakon to confirm exactly what it is, because that obviously would be a blatant violation of, you know, the laws as it is.
Some clarity is needed in that regard, and I agree with you perfectly on that. I'm sure we're working on the phones to get through to Gary Nimako to help us understand what exactly is happening. Evans Nimako, we'll get into that. But I was on the constitutional analysis. You know, Abna, it's interesting where we just came from in the Ashanti region. We have a number of former MPs coming back to contest the seats that they lost. It's a dynamic that I'm sure you'll be engaging your guests on to get into. But let's go to the Bono region. Wenchi is a place to pay attention to in the Bono region. You know what? Because the Professor John Bafo, who is the incumbent member of parliament, he is also the minister in charge of planning. That's what you see on the screens. These are the three constituencies we have zoomed in into and having a keen interest in the Wenchi, Sunyani East, and then also you have the Brekum East constituency. I'm going to give you the details of these three and run through it. In Wenchi, you have Professor John Bafo, the incumbent member of parliament for 5-term MP, who is facing competition from former broadcaster Kojo Frimpong, our own former colleague who worked here quite some time ago, former radio and television personality, Dr. Tina Abrefajan, former first vice chairperson, beg pardon, of the Npp USA, and then also Albert Ameyaw. So I'm talking about Professor John Jambafo, is facing competition from 4 other persons. And that's a constituency to watch. Brekum East, we're talking about the incumbent member of parliament, Kwabena Chum Nyama, who is of the Health Committee of Parliament, being challenged by 3 others. 2 of them are playing the youth card. You know, the moment you get into, you know, the age analysis, who is younger and who is older, and the person on the ground galvanizing the support of the youth, then we're getting to the earlier concern about, okay, how does experience come into play here? So Paul Ofori, Amanfo, Nelson Tremi, and Solomon Chiribwedu, all these 3 persons, 2 out of the 3 playing the youth card. We'll get to see what happens in Brekum East. But Sunyani East as well is a place to watch. Kwesi Ameyaw Tremi is there. Majority Chief Whip and third-term Member of Parliament being contested by popular lawyer Alfred Tuah-Yeboah. It's also another place to watch there and what is going to be happening in there. So it's really interesting what's going to be happening in the eastern, specifically the Bono region.
Right.
But when you go into the central region as well, we have the list of the constituencies here in the central region. Quite a long one though. Asin North, Chifo, Etimokwa, and Himan Luwad, all those places, and Fantiman. But we zero in into the Sukuma and Dobin Brakwa constituency, you know, because here in the Sukuma and Dobin Brakwa constituency, Honorable Anthony Efa, Samuel Ofori Ampoma, Francis Ampong, Ansa Banasco, and Ernesto, that's Kojo Smith, Bright Esilfi Kome, and Honorable Emmanuel J. Thompson, who
that's quite
there,
a long list, huh?
Quite a long list. We have 6 people, 6 in the Sukuma Dobin Brakwa contesting that particular constituency for the NPP slot to represent the party in the 2020 polls. And that's what Dr. Lidu was saying, that if you have more people contesting, then it could actually reduce the number of people who may be voting for the person who would win. So in that constituency, 666 delegates are going to be voting in 33 electoral areas in the Sukuma Dobin Brakwa constituency to decide the fate of these six persons. And it's actually one of the highest number of persons contesting a particular seat, that's a slot in the NPP. So 6 in the Sukuma Dobin Brakwa constituency. It's a place to watch as well in the central region.
Right, great. So joining me now here to do some analysis regarding the constituencies that Alfred has graciously taken us through. From my extreme left, we have Dr. Kwame Asante. He's a senior lecturer at the Political Science Department. Also from the Political Science Department is Keche Frimpong, and he is also a member of a team of researchers at the Political Science Department who have consistently been churning out reports of studies that have been very useful to our democratic governance, dispensation, and other matters indeed. Good morning, gentlemen. It's great to have you here and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good. So, as indicated by Alfred, New Jabin South is one of the hotspots or the constituencies to watch. And we have Marcus Yeboah. He's the incumbent MP and chair of the Finance Committee of Parliament. And then there's Michael Otribefi. He's the CEO of the Ghana Free Zones Authority. Now, this contest between these two people has been, well, one of the topical issues given the role Dr. Marcus Yeboah plays in Parliament and the fact that as a finance committee is one of the most important committees, if you like, in Parliament. And so whoever is there ought to be looked at in a certain light. Before we go into that particular conversation, we need to take a break. When we come back, we would look at the dynamics there. This is our coverage of the NPP parliamentary primaries taking place in 167 constituencies.
Charlie, I bet you can score. Abimbio. I bet you this guy will score this goal.
Register now and get up to 200 Ghana cedis bonus on first deposit. MyBet.Africa, home of betting.
Protect yourself. Recent security doors. We do in Turkish quality bulletproof metal doors. Seek for safety. Ensure your safety. There is only one place. Seek for safety. Ensure your safety. There is only one place. Fluorescent security door. Fluorescent security. Soldier for it to be. Lion for it to be. Fastest it to be. Oh, what you are, yeah, Santa Rena Opera, Bagwana Opera. Baby, follow me, you near open in Albania. Yeah, open film, yeah, but watch this, better pepper, how you where is now Opera. Let's go shop at Florissant Boutique.
Study has shown that 1 out of every 8 couples may be dealing with infertility issues.
Prior to our first son, we had 2 stillbirths and 6 miscarriages. That's a lot.
And one thing that got to me, somebody said, oh, you don't know these celebrities,
And that's why this week on the Day Show, we're speaking to the experts.
It was just a one-off something and I'm pregnant. The reason is that she has quite a number of eggs and of a very good quality. So as you age, the numbers decline and the quality also goes down.
The Day Show, every Saturday, 10:30 a.m. and repeats on Sundays, 2:30 p.m. on TV3. Brought to you by
Forever Clear,
GTP, still timeless.
Ghana AIDS Commission.
Bangawego, are you to Bangawe?
This year on Ghana's Most Beautiful, several hundreds of maidens were auditioned in Kumasi and Accra. And after grueling final auditions, the scouting judges get to join me this Sunday at 8 p.m. right here on TV3 as we review all the entries. And this year's Ghana's Most Beautiful promises to be exceptional and exciting. GMB 2020, uniquely Ghanaian, exceptionally African.
Brought to you by GTP, still timeless. Having insecticide spray and coil. Deluxy acrylic paint.
And Napa Foods. Tabia Herbal Mixture, Adonko Sanitizer, and Adonko Next Level. Kill It Insecticide Spray and Coil. Holy Trinity Spa and Health Farm.
bringing hope to many around the globe.
Your habits determine the outcome of your life. 90% of what you do every day, you do them without thinking. It's a habit. Before you blame a witch, before you blame your husband, before you blame your wife, before you blame somebody else for your problems, look at the 90% of your habits.
Living Word, transforming lives into legacies.
Living Word shows every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. on TV3.
This Sunday, it's happening live at the Holy Trinity Spa and Health Farm. 10 strong men will come your way with exciting and thrilling performances that will keep you glued to your TV set. This is season 9 of Ghana's Strongest, the power to do.
Ghana's Strongest, showing this and every Sunday.
Great, so welcome back. This is Media General's coverage of the New Patriotic Party's parliamentary primaries currently underway in 167 constituencies across the country, and we've been touching base with our respective correspondents in the various regions and to bring us up to date with matters that are going on in those particular constituencies. Joining me in the studio now, as indicated earlier on, we have Dr. Kwame Asante, Senior Lecturer, University of Ghana, Political Science Department, also K-Trey from Pond with the Political Science Department as well. And once again, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So as indicated, New Jabin South is one of the must-watch constituencies, and the permutations or the dynamics there have been set out clearly. Mark Asibe Yaboah, an incumbent MP and the chair of the Finance Committee of Parliament, coming up against Michael Ochre-Befi, CEO of the Ghana Free Zones Authority. I'll start with you, Doc. How do you see this playing out? These are considered two arch-rivals, as it were, and they're going against each other again after Dr. Asibe defeated, Mr. Befi in 2015. So this is the second time they're meeting. Your thoughts on that? How is that likely to play out and the implications of this kind of competition?
Thank you. I think in politics, these things are to be expected.
where at a point in time you feel that there's a need to bring in more energy to strengthen the party machinery against the opponents and all that. And Kufuor, bear in mind, has always been one of the hot spots because, take it or leave it, Eastern region is one of the deciders for most MPP votes in the election. So you realize that any vote in Eastern region is very, very important. And for that matter, Kufuor being the capital, you should expect these things from that.
Sure.
Especially when you have people like this who have the wherewithal, the quality and all that. And remember, all these exercises, we are geared towards having people in parliament who will be able to do the work of government, to run the government machinery and to be able to move it forward. So normally they are looking for people who are quality, who have the wherewithal, who have the experience to go. And if you look at the Makesibe, his background, and then the other Befi also their background, it speaks volume. And obviously you realize that they would just go for this type of position in order to get to parliament to be able to. If you look at even how the party has been able to, as it were, make people go unopposed and others accept them, to allow them to compete and all that, is a way of telling you that they really want to have the quality of people in parliament to be able to do the job for them. Right. So if you have people like this in that constituency, you should expect nothing more than what we're experiencing.
Right. Now, given what you just said about the fact that looking at a certain kind of people, or category of people, they would want to keep them there. Some have said that perhaps then someone like Mark Esibe should have gone unopposed as well. But here's the case that we have him coming up against the CEO of Free Zones Board.
I have a difficulty with that. You see, in democracy, the main tenet of democracy, one of them is what elections, where from time to time you elect your leaders to represent you in parliament and other places. All right. It is also true that you can also select. If you go by the MPP constitution and the rules governing their business, they tell you that they can engage in selection of candidates and election of candidates. For that matter, they are employing the two in this case. But what is the matter, or what raise eyebrow, is when you begin to have surprises, that you don't walk the people through this type of arrangement from the word go. And the midstream, you are surprised with that type of decision, that, hey, these people are going unopposed and these people, we are going to allow them to compete. Right. This is a big problematic for the party, and these are some of the things that lead to an independent candidate. Exactly. It leads to also skirt and blood voting and the rest of it all. Right. So I would have thought that the party would be able to look at it carefully and be able to manage it well. So that, and bear in mind, they also make the argument that the attrition rate in parliament is getting higher and all that. We are aware that in advanced democracies such as the Westminster systems and all that, they allow people, experienced people, to be in parliament. But I'm telling you that they are all rules of what convenience, what we call what conventions. Allow people to be part and parcel of that decision so that they can own it at any point in time. And
it shouldn't be seen to be an imposition.
It shouldn't be an imposition. But my worry is that, remember, nobody was born an MP. We all get into parliament, let the rules of parliament, and get through the socialization process, and we will become the best for our society. Right. So the argument that, we need those experienced people to be there, you have to get in there before you become experienced. Exactly. So, and remember also that death is also a factor. What about if you die today? Touch wood. We are going to have parliament move anyway. Definitely. People like J.H. Mensah and co, we have loved to have them today to be able to stand tall in parliament, but we don't have them. That's so we are saying that much as you want to go by these things, you must be careful. My worry also is the fact that once you start this way, a time will come, you are starting maybe 66 today, next time it's 100, and another time we don't have anything. Right. And for me, the last point is that the double standard on the part of the MPP is what I'm worried about. Because a few years ago, they were attacking the NDC for having applauded Professor Mills in the Swedroad Declaration. Right. What has changed in this direction? Sure. And for me, in politics, you need to be straightforward, and then you move on. Very well. Now, let me turn to Mr. Frimpong here. Your thoughts as well on this whole issue. We have 65 going unopposed. The implications are, immense. People would be disgruntled, people who are disqualified
who in their perspectives should have actually qualified to go on, feel dissatisfied and definitely would have certain feelings towards the party. It has implications for the cohesion post the primaries and leading up to the elections. Ultimately, you're looking at, dire consequences for the party. And historically, we've seen how such instances have affected the fortunes of political parties. Your thoughts on what's happening currently? 65 candidates going unopposed.
65 out of 160 is about a third or so.
Mm-hmm. It's actually 66, sorry. Yes.
And maybe let me look at it from the side of those who are advocating for that. They want to keep some people there because of the work that they are doing. And if you look at the 65 out of the
66 now, the health minister has now added, yeah.
The top 6 topmost positions in parliament, 4 are retained. Only 2 are Joasafo and Asomach, who is not there. You also see that by this process, some of the stalwarts have remained. Mm-hmm. And I also see that among the 65, we see all of them cutting across all the tenures. You have the majority leader who is going for a 7th term, right down to 1 or 2 who are coming in, but they are going unopposed. Mm-hmm. On one side, these are positive things. But the big question is, was this unopposed imposed or it was agreed on? Those people who have been disqualified, were they told why they were disqualified? Was it because they wanted some people to remain? Or it's because they did not follow the procedures? There may be hinges here and there. If those people who have been disqualified are not satisfied, they may do what some of them have done before. Mm-hmm. I always say that the current First Deputy Speaker, the ghost has come to haunt him. But in his case, he went independent and won more than 75%. Yep. And so on. So some other people may try it that way. So what is the basis of this large number? There are instances where there were as many as 4 other aspirants. All of them were disqualified. So if it's done out of negotiation, if it's done basically by the rules and not favoritism for one another, it could be a good thing. But if some people are not happy with the process, then definitely things like others going independent, mm-hmm. in spite of whatever they are deliberately signed on to, and the fact that these primaries coming so close to the election itself, healing party wounds becomes difficult.
Right.
And if this thing gets to the ordinary voters, appetite may develop, mm-hmm. and it may have some impact even on the presidential election. Sure. Let's take Ashanti region. Whether a person is going unopposed or when he wins the primaries, more or less, it's okay. But if somebody is going unopposed and people are not happy with it, what it means is that they may stay at home. And majority of them are in Eastern and Ashanti. They're very stronghold. The fact of the matter is that in the 2 previous elections, which President Akufo-Addo lost, he got around 71% in Ashanti, and less than 55% in Eastern. In other words, for him to win, he needs at least 55 in Ashanti, in Eastern, and 75 or thereabouts in Ashanti. How are they going to manage all these grievances that are coming up? That is a big issue.
It's a big issue that's worthy of interrogation. And indeed, that's one of the things that we discussed earlier on, that the dispute resolution mechanisms should be activated really soon. But you raised an important issue about the time between now and the elections. Is it sufficient time to deal with all of those issues coming up? But one other issue that has also come up in recent times has been the allegations of vote buying. And this is to you, Doc. Let's start us off on this one. Several allegations, vote buying and all of that. But one thing that we need to look at too, for instance, is the fact that I do recall that post-2008, the NPP enhanced or expanded its electoral college. And one of the reasons was that it was trying to curb that. Clearly, that objective has not been achieved, because it looks like candidates have the capacity to actually, do all that they need to do, which is what the party set out to try to prevent. Now, how do we deal with that? If after expanding the electoral college so that you have many delegates with a view that you will not be able to go around all the delegates, we still have these allegations coming up, then what exactly are we looking at? And doesn't it also have implications for the kinds of people we end up taking to Parliament?
Obviously, this is one of the major problems we have in this country. And time and again, we are paid lip service to this. When you look at it critically, let me just move you backwards to see even how parties are even being financed. There are strict rules governing how parties are financed. But if you look at this, strictly speaking, you get the impression that the state doesn't care about it anymore. Because, and this has grown to this level that now it feeds into intra-party activities, where you have people who are all out there to fund people to vote for them, buy votes and solicit votes through this illegal means, right? If you look at the national level, you ask yourself, how many people, how do parties get money to fund themselves? You see big board, huge ones. You see display of money during election, and everybody's quiet. Where the law even says that after election, surrender your audited account to the Electoral Commission. What time do they do? And if they do that, how many of the parties are able to do this? Right. If you come to the parties themselves, you realize that within the parties, all right, there are people who occupy very important positions. For that matter, they are able to raise resources through various means. And these are people who go out there and then, push cash into the hands of people to vote for them. And for me, the problem has always been the fact that the socialization within the parties have not gotten on yet. You need to educate people that, look, this is not the way to go. You don't sell your power to somebody for pittance just so that the person go to Parliament and you have got what you want. No, you end up feeding Parliament with people that will be not fit for the work that is in Parliament.
Right.
And that's the difficulty that
we need to
this
deal
country need to deal with it, and deal with it head on.
Very well. Now, Mr. Frimpong, again, still on the vote buying issue. Some have said, well, it's a demand and supply thing. This is the time for delegates. Everybody you speak to is saying it's a delegates economy now. So they are cashing in. And so what you demand is what you get, literally, which ultimately would have implications at the national level when it comes to parliamentary work. And it's little wonder that we are seeing now that the call for keeping certain people in there because they have the institutional memory, or they have been able to, pick up the rudiments required to be in Parliament and all that. How do we deal with that?
Perhaps the initial suggestion I would make is maybe to make every registered member of the party in the constituency a voter in the delegate in the primaries.
So you are further expanding, calling for a further expansion of the electoral college.
Yes.
Otherwise, then it means it's not even going to be an electoral college. It's going to be for everybody then, as it were.
Yes, but it is still an electoral college.
Okay.
Because it's members of the party who will be contesting. But this whole business about money changing hands and so on has to do with our attitude towards the rich. People don't care any longer. That idea, good name is better than riches, has been thrown to the dogs. So whatever means people take to get money, people don't care any longer. So maybe we have to go back to our morals. And like he said, try to educate the people that maybe it's not only money which matters, but conscience, integrity, and all those things are important.
Right. Now, definitely that would appears to be an easy route, but definitely is that really what will get us the instant results, Doc? Speaking to the good conscience or appealing to people's judgments that this is something you need to discard. And we've faced with the critical issue of people's livelihoods, really and truly, because at the end of the day, they're doing this because of, they'll tell you it's bread and butter issues.
The factors are numerous, but I'll touch on one or two, then we'll move on. One of the main issues that lead to these things is the issue of poverty. Government over the years have failed to address poverty head on, and that during election time, people now want to have resources in their hands so as to give their vote. It doesn't matter the later effect, all right? If we are able to address the issue of the economy very well, obviously we'll have some deviation, but at least it will be minimized. The other issue also is that, look, because of what people gain out of politics, now it becomes life and death business. That we want to move heaven and earth, get resources, fund elections, get power, and then get what we want. And this has also contributed effectively towards undermining this process. But let me tell you something about democracy. One of the dangers of democracy is what we call the reversals. Democracy, all things being equal, we expect that it will bring certain fruits that all of us will benefit from. If people don't see this, and they see it in the hands of only few people, then people look for ways of getting this. And that is the danger in Latin American countries, other countries where they've seen war reversals. That when we don't see the benefits of democracy, we are prepared to go to the old order in military regimes and all that.
Survival of the fittest. Let's all
you
go
don't
down
want.
there. Yeah.
So, strictly speaking, we are saying that if you want to firm democracy, we have what scholars such as Huntington have put across, what they call ABC, attitude, behavior, and what constitution, what we are talking about law. We need to inculcate certain attitude in people. Let them imbibe those things. And this is part of what my colleague said, education, and how to teach the people to learn the tenets of democracy. Let them imbibe these things so that it become part and parcel of them. So that you don't go and convince anybody with money to vote for you, but you go there with issues so that the people would consider it and give you their mandate. And then behavior, we need to go to the family level. You know, socialization starts with the family.
Right.
All right. Begin to develop from there. The school, the agencies, all the agencies of socialization, let's activate them and let them come into the political landscape. And for them, when they're able to be active and then contribute their quota, obviously the society will be the best beneficiary of all these.
At the end of it all, very well. Let me take some messages here and then return to the panel to look at this issue about party unity moving forward. AU Farouk in Tamale North says, good morning. I wish all aspiring NPP parliamentary candidates a peaceful and violence-free elections. Comrade Haya in Shai Osudoku said, I still can't understand why the NPP, a party that shouts the battle is the Lord's, a party that takes delight in demolishing accommodation for judges just to build a cathedral, will engage in unleashing of curses and consulting of deities just because of a simple primary. No wonder they've scored 14% and begging for 24%. Anyway, I wish them well and pray we don't record any violence as it has been their trademark. Eja Dugan in Ejumako says, good morning. In fact, if it's true that a BNI officer has cast his vote in Bantama, then we are never safe as a country. How can a security officer be in party colors? This one is coming in from, he says, from Positive Change, Medina Accra. He says, I wish the NPP a very peaceful election today, but they should not follow what Ukufado said in 2016, that all die be die. We in the NDC want them alive to teach them the difference between bitter cola and red pepper on the 7th of December 2020. Regards to Lawyer Francis Sosu, next MP for Medina. Okay. Ismaila Horoya Ali says, good morning, TV3. You see the way Asenso is talking to the journalist? With this kind of attitude, how can you be a good member of parliament. God save us from this. Let me take last one. May the best candidates win in the ongoing Npp parliamentary primaries. At the end of the day, Npp must remain stronger to continue to deliver prosperity to the Ghanaian people. That's Sofo Yamusa in Kumbungu. So, yes, Mr. Frimpong here. Again, still on this bit about ensuring quality in Parliament, obviously becoming an issue because at the end of the day, we would want to grow Parliament, and that has been the argument. When you listen to people like Osei Chairman, so the majority leader, talking about the fact that we need to grow the institution of Parliament. Parliament is an institution of its own with its rules, and so you need to go in there, know exactly what the rudiments of the institution is in terms of their standing orders and all of that. But then there's the argument about growing, bringing in fresh blood to rejuvenate a whole lot and many other issues. But we don't seem to be seeing our way clear in this regard, which has implications for party unity, which we need to look at. In terms of party unity, we'll be looking at that. But let's take a listen to a piece by, I think, the former Northern Regional Chairperson of the NPP, Mr. Bugri Nabu, who also had cause to give some advice to the party as it goes for these primaries. So let's take a listen to that, and I will come to the panelists for their perspectives on this.
They should all be patient and then go for the contest. Those who lose should still come and support the party. Those who win should work hard and bring more people to join the party, because NPP alone, we may not be able to win the way we want. But if we can go in and pull some of the NDC members and pull other political party members and add to ourselves, you will see that we'll win the election like the 2016 members of parliament will win massively, presidential election win massively. You know, I was in opposition. I took the party from the opposition and to government. And so I believe that what I did, Northern Region was not winning. And what I did, I wanted to bring in 18 seats, but I had 13. And if you look at some area, small loss. So to me, I did very well, and I don't think the party, the government treats me well because I'm still in the affairs of the party. I am the member of the National Council member. We are the last decision makers. So I've been treated fairly. I support the party very well. I support the party, and whatever they do in the north, I contribute. I contribute a lot for the party to go more, to grow more, to win more seats. So I think, and I don't see anything wrong, the current chairman, what they do, and it's not good. They do their well, but they should do more. We always want more. So more, then we'll gain more.
Good, so that was the former Northern Regional Chairperson of the NPP, Mr. Bugri Nabu, there, sharing his thoughts on the party cohesion and how that would impact or help them, you know, at the December 2020 polls. Mr. Frimpong, your thoughts on that?
I think he is touching on the right notes, but is it at this tail end? If people are already aggrieved about the processes of some people going unopposed, it may be difficult now. So how genuine were these processes initially? And on the issue of grooming MPs, Parliament and all that, like our previous research indicated, there should be a careful balancing act between your role as an MP and your role as a representative of the people. So if you devote all your time doing work at Parliament, and your people don't see you the way they want to see you, they don't not able to get you to interact with, and all that, do remember that they are the kingmakers. So if the focus is on growing Parliament, I don't think it's right. Those people who want to be groomed in Parliament, are they playing their other roles as representatives of the people? Or they are devoting all their time? You should strike a careful balance, and I think some people do that. But if you just say, because I'm working hard in Parliament, let me go, is it Parliament who is going to choose the next parliamentary candidate? No. Then on the issues of party unity, it still boils around with the processes. Okay. But let me say also that sometimes some of the people who have been disqualified, they have been generally disqualified. Right. The issues that came up and so on. Sometimes there are even things that the party wouldn't want to come out. And so they say, go and try next time. It would have been very good if they get back to their supporters to let them know what the truth is. But sometimes they go and give all sorts of excuses, and that tends to infuriate their supporters. And these are some of the things. I think that issue about offenses, I think that might stay in the race. But they just said that they say I've been disqualified, and they went and did those things. So all those things are channel of communication, and all those things are important within the party. Very well.
Doc, I will give you the last, I think we have 2 minutes. I'll give you the last 2 minutes to conclude for us on this.
Yeah. My view is that we have struggled to get here as a democracy. If you cast your mind back to where we started from and how far we have come, we've done this thing through pain and sweat. It's my hope and prayer that as we go along, we will nurture the process, protect them gingerly, and so that we'll be able to firm them. And one day, we'll look back and say that we did the best. Right. Because I tell you, people have really fought to make this democracy work. It's our duty to make sure that we firm it so that we don't go back to the old order that we don't want.
Great. I think that's well said. Thank you for that. On that note, we bring the show this morning to a close. We'd like to say thank you to Dr. Kwame Asante, Asante, Senior Lecturer, Political Science Department, University of Ghana, and also H.J. Frimpong, Political Science Department, University of Ghana. And earlier we had Mr. Benefson and Dr. Ali Duseidu. So the coverage continues, but we will come back at 12 with more updates on that. So stick and stay with us. This is the Election Command Center, where we keep you updated and informed on all that is happening regarding our electoral politics space. My name is Abnatibi, and I did this with Alfred Okanse. We'll be back here same time next week. Do have yourselves a very good weekend and a productive week ahead of you. Bye-bye.
She rado, rado.